Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing this evening? For those who follow me here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Facebook, those who follow my Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on YouTube, and those who follow my short reels, TikToks under HCS, how's everybody doing this evening? I'm just clearing out the space right now. I'm getting ready for this spiritual talk, brothers and sisters. Hope everybody is having a great night. As for me, I got a pretty good rest all throughout the day. I sleep during the day and I'm up at night. I just want to say thank you to those that tune into my videos and that been here since the beginning, that follow me from my old group of Positive Spiritualists to Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, and who follow me in the new group that I created, DDN, the rise of the DDN / disembodied demonic Nephilim. I hope everybody is doing great today. I know I wanted to share a story with y'all, but I'm thinking I'm leaving the story that I want to share with y'all for another day, or I might share it later on after this video. Share the story that I said that I wanted to share with y'all about. Well, I'm gonna just start that with it. I'm trying to remember what I'm going to speak of. I might just share the story for later on and see if I could get some viewers that come in. But I'm just going to start off the video like I normally do and just talk. And for those of you viewing me later on, catch up on my videos and check it out. Thank y'all. When I wanted to talk to y'all about brothers and sisters, whoever's here viewing on Spiritual and Encrypted Encounters, is that I've been through a lot spiritually, you know, where I've always felt spiritually that there was forces around me trying to prevent me from moving forward in this life. It's like ever since I was small, you know, it's like I went through. It's like I was targeted spiritually by the unseen and the people that work for the unseen. In which, like I said before in the past, that all my life I fought spiritually against witches, warlocks, necromancy, and I always felt like an arrow on me. But I felt, and this since I was a kid, I felt that it was like that because the unclean spirits within these individuals that was practicing this, they see me as a spiritual threat because I have a mission here on earth. And my mission here on earth is to awaken my brothers and sisters spiritually with the Love Foundation. They tried to prevent me from doing that by causing chaos and havoc within my household. Lost a family member due to that. They tried to prevent me by planting a negative seed of hatred and anger and vengeance. But I overcame all that through Jesus Christ, as I placed them first and I forgave the individuals, because now that I've grown spiritually, I know now that sometimes it's not the individual that's behind it. It's what's within the individual. What's driving that individual that might be dabbling in something? What's driving that individual that is using to come up against you spiritually? So I know that I have to forgive, you know, and I forgive daily individuals, but at the same time as we forgive, you know, that's just written in the Bible. If you're not welcomed, right, or you're not welcome, or people don't accept you for who you are, all you do is wipe your feet and walk away, you know, and maintain your Love Foundation. Don't worry about what people are saying. about you, what people are thinking about you. You just be you. I'm me. What makes me is everything that I've been through in my life. You want to call it a roller coaster ride. You want to call it a spiritual battle. You want to, that I've been fighting the front lines all this time. You know, this is who I am, you know, and I accept that, you know, just like I accepted who I am, that my life is going to be different than many other people. You know, everything that I have, nothing was ever given to me. Everything that I have is from what I've done in my life. But at the same time, I just feel blessed to be able to do this works that I do. The reason I say that is because there's unseen forces that are around, and they don't want me to do this works, to bring the spiritual aspect out of all the things that are within groups. They don't want me to do this. You know, there's numerous times that when I see that people are sick or people are fighting, that I'm told spiritually by this unseen forces, they tell me, stay out of it. Leave it alone. Stay out of it. That's what they tell me. Stay out of it. Or sometimes they say they belong to me. Spiritually. That's what they tell me spiritually. But I get involved because if I see that I can help somebody by giving somebody advice or trying to tell them, hey, Montana Love Foundation. Because when I say Montana Love Foundation, that's a protection against this unseen forces, brothers and sisters. When you maintain your Love Foundation and you have forgiveness, it makes your Love Foundation that much stronger. So when I say that, it's not that I'm just saying it that's something repetitive. It's very important to maintain your Love Foundation daily. When you wake up, when you sleep. How many times have you felt that you've been spiritually attacked? For example, where you could be driving and a bad thought will come into your mind, or a bad image will come to your mind. What do? Do you do something about it immediately? Or do you just keep it in your mind and thinking about it? Well, that's how they spiritually attack. What I do, brothers and sisters, is if I see a bad image or hear something negative that's trying to come to me, I rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. If I see something negative within the image that I see, I rebuke it and I send protection to whoever I'm seeing something happening to. That's how I fight spiritually. And this past year and a half, I've been doing a lot of that, in which it was taking a lot out of me because I'm placing myself spiritually in the way to assist my friends spiritually from the spiritual attacks. There were people were targeting my friends through voodoo, witchcraft, and orgomancy. That's why I kept on saying, maintain your Love Foundation, because I was seeing what was happening. Normally, when somebody sends your way, you know, I have this spiritual gift. I can tell when somebody's doing something, or it's shown to me as I sleep when somebody's trying to do something. So I wake up and I pray against what's being done spiritually. And I rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name. And I prevent whatever they're trying to do. I block that through a Love Foundation. So it can't go further than that. So it has to go back to the sender, whoever is trying to do that. It's not that I'm wishing bad upon nobody. I'm just not accepting any negativity. These things, you know, you learn through experiences of battling spiritually. And this is what I've done all my life, you know. So I want to talk about how many times they tried to take me out spiritually. There's a lot of times they try to take me out spiritually and physically. I'll give you an example of that. When they try to take him out spiritually, you know, it's just a story. But it happened physically. We had won a championship when I was playing Little League. We had won the championship for Little League. I was a pitcher, and we were celebrating at a friend's swimming pool. You know, I was already probably like 10 years old, you know, playing Little League. And yeah, they had a swimming pool. I was swimming in the swimming pool, you know, and it was a hot day, and everybody stepped out to eat hamburgers and hot dogs, right? So I didn't want to eat. I was enjoying the swimming, so I was swimming. I was a good swimmer, and I'm swimming in the water. As I'm in the water, I get leg cramps. It felt like cramps that went from my feet all the way up into my mid area, in which I could not move my legs. So I was trading the water. I could not move my legs, and I was trying to stay afloat, but I sunk quick. It felt like I was getting pulled down into the swimming pool, right? So as I'm in the pool and I'm going down, I'm getting pulled down by an unseen force, right? Because I cannot move. It feels like I lost the feeling of from my weight from my like midsection down. So I sunk, and I'm looking at the pool, thinking that maybe there's some of the kids or somebody see me sinking in the water, you know, because it happened fast. I got like pulled down into the pool. So I'm in the pool, and there's like a force holding me down that's not letting me get up afloat, and I'm not feeling any kind of how should I say? I have no power from my midsection down. So I'm sitting in the pool with my eyes open, because you know when I swim underwater, I swim with my eyes open, and I'm looking at the wall, and I'm trying to go up, but I can't go up because if something is holding me in the water. So I'm looking to see if anybody's jumping in, you know, and the pool's pretty deep, so I could only see the very top where the light is sitting the top of the water. So as I'm down there, you know, something's still not letting me go because I got no feeling on my leg or nothing. As I'm looking at the wall, I lose consciousness, in which I'm not seeing the world anymore. What I'm seeing is a dark area. I'm sharing this with y'all, brothers and sisters. It's something that happened to me, and it's all dealing with the spiritual warfare. It's darkness. At the very end, there's light. But this darkness, there was two kinds of darkness. The darkness to the left was way darker compared to the darkness in the right. So I'm walking and just paying focus to the light. And I'm walking towards the light. As I'm walking towards the light, I'm getting pulled left and right. Left and right. Like they're fighting for my soul of some sort. And they're trying to pull me to the left. They're turning to the right. And I'm praying the Our Father in the dream. And I'm getting pulled. And then I stop with no fear. I took the fear out of me, and I speak to the Heavenly Father. I say, Heavenly Father, I love my brothers and sisters. Give me another chance. I want to be with my brothers and sisters because I love them. When that happened, the pulling stopped, where I was getting pulled left and right. And I came back to reality. And I felt the force. You know how I felt the force pulling me down? I felt the force push me up. It was so strong of a force that it pushed me up, and half my body came up on top of the pool, and I went like this. Went like this. I couldn't sit still because it just happened. I could feel just the push of energy. As I went like this, I felt somebody's head and a neck. And I grabbed for the neck and head, and they picked me up. And they didn't know what was going on, I guess, and they helped me out of the pool. How long I was underwater, I do not know. All I know is this, that this gentleman, his name was Tomas Gonzalez. He was a good friend of mine. And that day, his mom didn't like him eating at other people's. How you doing, Sister Alberta, Brother Jonathan, Sister Nellie? He didn't like people eating didn't like him eating in other people's homes because, you know, when I talk about spiritual warfare, she didn't want nobody to put any brujeria, witchcraft in his food, right? So he already ate. She already fed him before we went to the party. So he jumped in the water. And this is how God works, brothers and sisters. He controls time. He controls situations, scenarios. He can make things happen when you least expect it. He can make things happen for you. All I know is he was swimming on his back, floating on his back. And when he was floating on his back and I got pushed up, the pool was pretty big that the Heavenly Father timed it perfectly where I could grab him from the neck and he could pull me out of safety. The Heavenly Father did that. Synchronized swimmers do everything because they practice out of synchronization. This was not dealing with any synchronization. This was an act of God that he placed this individual to put it in his mind to go into the water, to swim on his back, and he timed it perfectly to get me out of the situation that I was in. He blessed me to come back into this world. And for a very long time, I was kind of scared to jump in the water because of what happened to me. So, how do you overcome a fear because of what happened to me? Well, I got in the lake and I swam across the lake, back and forth, made it back to shore. That's how I overcame the fear of how I believe I had drowned, but the Heavenly Father bought me the time to make it back to reality. Like I said before, there was a force that pulled me down and was holding me hostage under the water. I'm just sharing the story of how I overcame that spiritual attack or attempt of taking my life out of this world by placing Jesus Christ first, which I call upon him to assist me out of the situation, and he did. So for those who do say that they don't believe in the Heavenly Father, they don't believe in Jesus Christ, well, I'm just here to tell you that I'm a walking blessing, a walking miracle. And this is one of the times. I'm just here to let you know that he does exist, and he is around. So that he exists 100%. That's all I can tell you. For those that understand where I'm coming from, that have faith and believe in Jesus Christ, that's my testimony of what happened. If I could get Brother Thomas to share the story, I would. But Brother Thomas lost his life a very long time ago when he was in his early 20s in a car crash. You know, sometimes makes you wonder, when you went up in a situation like that, that when you're crossing paths, he saved my life. You know, I would always thank him for that. But he got placed that way. You know, he told me, why are you thanking me? You know, I just pulled you out of the water. He just don't understand that if it wasn't for that, him doing that, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So, I would always, buy him stuff when I would see him because I appreciated it. But, Jesus Christ placed him. So I thank the Lord daily, for saving my life from that situation that I was in. He's the one that can make these things happen. So that's what I say. There is a spiritual warfare that happens here on earth. And if they see, this unseen forces see you as a spiritual threat, they come at you. That's how it's been all my life, Whether it comes, if they come in to me spiritually in that manner, or if he uses people to come against me, it happens. I'm used to it. It's no big deal. But it makes me that stronger that, people can say a lot of things bad about me, come up against me in numbers. I'm not worried about them because Jesus Christ takes care of my enemies. What I'm supposed to do is maintain my love foundation, maintain my faith, maintain my love foundation, and he takes care of the rest as I place him first. But that's a true story that happened to me. And it almost happened numerous times, brothers and sisters. I remember another incident like that in the pool. It was during the summer. This unseen forces, what they can do is put you in a situation where you don't know the north to the south to the east to the west. You get disorientated that way. And that's how a lot of people lose their lives. I remember I was swimming across the pool. And I was in the shallow, And for some reason, I couldn't find my way up out of the pool. And I couldn't go down. So I was trying to get out of the situation because I knew I was swimming across. All I had to do was stand up. And I could not find my way. And when I would go down, I would never touch the bottom. I would go sideways. I would never reach to the top. I swam so many directions, and I'm in the shallow. This when I was a kid. But I couldn't find where the air was. It's like I was trapped or being controlled in a way spiritually where I could not get air, and whatever was causing that, disorientate me in that nature, was trying to take me out. I started praying, staying relaxed, and I was able to find my way to where I was able to breathe air. These are just some of the incidents that will happen to me where I was being spiritually targeted, and there was forces around me trying to prevent me from continuing to live, because that's basically what it was. I would have a dream as I was older where I was always seeing darkness, and it felt like I was being suffocated, that I couldn't breathe. And this is a dream it was like happening every day. And I'm trying to figure out, is this a true event that happened, or is it just a dream? So I prayed to the Heavenly Father, this when I was in the military, to show me what this was about. So I could see the darkness, and I could see myself like if I was a toddler or younger, you know, like maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 months old. And I would pray to God to make the darkness go lighter so I can see what's going on. So as I would pray for this, he would make it a little bit lighter every day, you know, till one day I was able to see what I witnessed was I could see light. I could see a wall, which was in our house. And what was above me was a pillow. And I could see a belt buckle of the person holding the pillow. And I recognized the belt buckle where this individual tried to take me out, but trying to suffocate me. So I went up to this individual and I looked at him later while I was in the military, and I said, I forgive you. And he's looking at me and said, what do you mean you forgive me? So I forgive you for trying to suffocate me with a pillow. And they went back and they freaked out when I told them that. They freaked out when I told them that I forgive you for trying to suffocate me with a pillow. So I've been targeted in so many ways that is unimaginable. And I'm more than sure that there's other people that probably go through a lot far worse things happening to them in this world. That's why it's important for us to awaken spiritually, brothers and sisters, to be able not just to fight for ourselves and our next of kin, but to help others fight spiritually. That's why I do this works, to try to awaken my brothers and sisters to fight spiritually through Jesus Christ. How you doing, Sister Rebecca and Jean? But those are real experiences that happened to me. I'll share another one with y'all. We're going up north to Lubbock, Texas. We're migrant workers who work during the summer. At that time, I was already like probably 13, 14 years old. And we're back in the back of a truck with a camper. So all my brothers and sisters are there. And we're going for the ride to go to Lubbock. My dad would drive real slow, like 55, stay alive. He'd go real slow on the highway. So what would take us, it could be a short trip, would take us a long time to get to our destination because it would take us time. I remember falling asleep in the back of that truck with a camper. And I guess I'm in the sleep. While I'm sleeping, I'm seeing the image that I'm going to the restroom. So as I'm seeing opening the door of the restroom to go into the restroom, I wake up. And this is what I witnessed. All my brothers and sisters were asleep, but when I wake up, half of my body is hanging back of the truck with a thing lifted, and I see people behind the car real close to the truck going like this. They're saying, no, no, no. I'm fixing to go. In my dream, I was going to the restroom, but in actuality, something was trying to make me jump out of the back of the truck. When I wake up, half my body's already out of the truck. So I come back to reality, and I've never slept walk. And the people are going like this. The car is right behind under us, you know, and like, I guess if I fall, they're going to try to save me on the hood, you know, whatever. But they're going like this, and I wake up and I hang on to the back of the truck, and I jump back in the vehicle. And it's like, I freaked out with that I went all the way to the front of the truck, and I was like freaked out. So about the situation. I'm just naming some of the things that happened that's out of the ordinary, that is not supposed to happen. You know, when you hear about certain events happening, and sometimes people must say, "Oh, that's just a stupid way to die, or a stupid incident." You got to think about one thing: what is controlling the city? How you doing, cousin Jesus Carvajal? You got to think of it like this: what's controlling that scenario? Why is it happening that way? Now, because for whoever reads a newspaper or sees the news, they're just going to see it as an accident, or, oh, that person did that intentionally. But what if, there's a what if, there's other forces working behind all that, that's trying to eliminate a spiritual threat? Did they know that my calling would be this of who I am right now? So all throughout my life, and Brother Jesus Carvajal, he's witness to the things that I'm talking about, because he stayed with me when I was a teenager, raising my brothers and sisters. He was there, and he knows, he can verify these testimonies that I speak of, because you ever heard the term being at the wrong place at the wrong time? Well, that's been all my life. But not because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's because that was my life. You know, I was always being targeted in many ways. In many ways, where the target was to end my life, to take me out. I used to be a cross-country runner. We run down the dirt roads during the day and night. One evening, after running about 20 miles, I was a long-distance runner. I was walking by we call them the loose apartments. So I was walking by the loose apartments, and as I'm walking, I feel something, right? Through my peripheral vision, I seen something dark moving towards my right. So I'm seeing this figure coming real fast towards me. So I cross the street, and I look and I see, and when I'm looking at him, he pulls out a sword out of his hand. And he comes at me with a sword in his hand. And basically what he's wearing is like a ninja outfit, right? He's all black. He waited for the right time, the right place. He just didn't know. Thanks to cousin Jesse, of what he showed me spiritually, and about my senses, that my senses warned me that there was something entering my space. So when I seen him pull out the sword and he was trying to get close to me to use it, you know, somebody's not just going to pull out a sword just to pull out and show and tell in the middle of the night. That guy had bad intentions, you know, and the bad intentions was to take my life. So when I seen that and he got close enough to use it, that's when I ran. He could not keep up with me because I was pretty fast. So I ran down this. There was this 2-story home where some nuns used to live, from the St. Joseph's Church. There was an alley that had pebbles. So I remember running through the alley of pebbles and pretty fast, and whoever was dressed in that ninja outfit with a sword, I left them behind. So I made it back home safely. There was one more encounter that I had with this individual. I was coming from a track meet, and I didn't have a vehicle. So this is, by the time we get from the track meet, it's like 1, 2 in the morning. So I'm walking. I had already walked, and I'm by near the railroad tracks. There's a medical pharmacy called Watson's, and I was going to walk. I was going to cross the railroad tracks, and out of the darkness, it's the same guy in the ninja outfit, and we're having a standoff. He's got his hands up like he's going to attack, and get in my defensive position, ready to fight. He's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. Next thing you know, he's going no, and he takes off his mask. He takes off his mask, and he says, "I cannot do it." And I've seen who it is. This guy was a fighter. He would fight in dark fights, underground fights in Texas. I knew him as a ninja because that's what we would call him. And his real name is Eddie Aguilar. He's looking at me, and he said he couldn't do it. He said, and he told me why he couldn't do it, even though he attempted. He said he couldn't do it because when he lost his mother, when he was in junior high, he lost his mother. Me and my brother were there for him to comfort him of his mother's death. And he said he couldn't do it. And this is what he told me. He told me that there was a hit out for me that was worth $20,000. Yeah, I'm in high school, still a teenager. A hit on me for $20,000. He needed the money. He wanted to claim the money. The hit was to take me out, not to rough me up, was to eliminate me from the face of the earth. And he told me he couldn't do it and to be careful. And he let me know that there was a spiritual hit. Not a spiritual hit, but a hit. Whatever you want, a spiritual, physical threat. There was money for my head. Not just for my head, but for other family members. And I believed the reason for that is there was a fraudulent family insurance called Global Life Insurance. The person that was selling it wasn't just selling it to the family. They were selling that to other people. So what they were doing is this. They would grab a family with a lot of people in it. And this was the way they were going to make money out of that. Or they tried. If they could eliminate the whole family, whoever buys those insurance claims, when that family would die, they will be able to collect money for all those family members, because they had purchased a life insurance for every person on the insurance. That's the way they will make money. Everybody had to die that was under that insurance. How do I find out this information? Because of the military. I remember when I came back from Operation Desert Storm, I was at a bar. This girl jumped on my lap and I told her to get off of me. And then next thing you know, I got the girl's father telling me that she was underage. I said, look, I'm not interested in your underage daughter. I'm just here. I just come back from war, from combat. I'm just here trying to drink a beer. You know, I haven't even opened my beer and all these things are happening. And he was trying to get money from me, trying to tell me that if you don't give me money, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I said, man, I'm not gonna give you a single penny. You know, you're not gonna trick me into giving you money, trying to set me up for failure. So this guy gathered a lot of people, and there's like 10, 15 dudes waiting for me outside of the bar, you know. And they said they're gonna beat the hell out of me. So I'm there inside the bar, and it's already closing time. And this guy comes in with a gun in his hand, and he's looking around. And I look at him, and he recognizes me because it was somebody I knew. His name was Lupe Cano. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Hey, what's up, brother? I haven't seen you in a long time, you know." I was telling, I got a little situation going on here, you know. And I was telling them what happened, and how this guy gathered all these people that are waiting for me outside. I said, "Look, I just come from combat. I've had to do what I had to do in combat, in which I've seen many people lose their lives. And I guess when I step out of here, I'm going to have to face all these people. So I really don't want no problems." And I said, "Let me go talk." He said, "Let me go talk to him." So I went out there, and he came back, and I told him, "Look, tell them that nobody needs to get hurt. Tell them that I'll buy them beer. I'll buy them cases of beer. And they can say whatever they want to say to the people, collect money from them too. They can say they beat me if they want to. So all I know is tomorrow I'm leaving back to base, you know." So he goes out there, talks to him, and he tells me that they take the beer offer. So I bought him a couple of cases of beer. By the time I step out there, they're all gone. But that guy put him up to it. The friend of mine, Lupe Cano, helped me out from that situation. But the police department from my city is corrupt. It's drug affiliated. They can say whatever they want to say that it's not, but it's always been that way. It's corrupt. I've seen innocent people get put in jail. I've seen them, it's one of those cities where I think it was named under one of the worst cities to live, because of corruption. It was my hometown, where I grew up, you know. I'm just sharing a couple of stories with y'all for whoever's here to tune in. I would always be told by family, aunts and uncles, that will tell me, "Don't say that, don't do this, don't do that, because people can come after you because of what you're saying and all this." Where I've been and what I've done and what I've experienced all my life, I'm going to say what I have to say. You know, if somebody got a problem with me, I don't think they want to deal with somebody that's at almost 260, 258 muscle. You know, I don't think they want to deal with me in that nature. Combat experience. They don't want to deal with me. But in saying that, I don't want to get off the subject, brothers and sisters. Brother Jesse knows, cousin Jesse, because he's seen it. He witnessed it. He witnessed where the city, the corrupt police department would send people to our home to attack. They would come in cars full of people trying to come and attack me and my family members, you know. And we had to defend. It was me, my brothers, my cousin. We were ready to fight the people that are coming after us. Like I said, in that town, it's corrupt, you know, and it's hardly there's no jobs. It's kind of like a ghost town now in a sensible way. And anybody do anything for a buck because there's no work there. That's one of the main reasons that I left Raymondville, Texas. Not just for me to leave there, but to help my brothers and sisters get out of there also, which everybody moved from Raymondville, Texas, from my family. Nobody knew that there was a hit. The only reason I found out that there was a hit on not just me, but on my family because of the fraudulent insurance is because when I got surrounded by the police department also. That day that all those people showed up, there was like 6 policemen around me inside the bar. And they're telling me, this is what they're telling me. I think one of the officers was Michael Rosales. And I knew this guy when he was a kid. He grew up, he was always trying to beat me up, but I was always getting the best of him. I was always beating him up. Right? And he tried so many times to fight me, and I beat him every single time. So in a sense of way, you could say he hated me. He told me that if I didn't leave town, that something serious was going to happen to me. These are all policemen from that town wearing their uniforms, telling me to leave town or else something bad was going to happen to me. A corrupt police department. That's why I have nothing highly to say about the police department of Raymondville, Texas, because of what I experienced, how corrupt it is. It's kind of like this. If the guy had a problem with me, all he had to do is take off his badge. But you see, he was doing it for a reason, because there was a hit on me. Was he trying to help me out to leave town because something was going to happen to me? Or he was just targeting me? Either way, what happened is I called my NCOIC, which was the NCO in charge of me because I was on leave from the bar. And I told him, look, this is a situation. I'm here, and there's these officers around me. I'm in this bar. I hadn't even drink a beer. They're telling me I have to leave my hometown or else something serious is going to happen to me. And he's like freaking out, like, what the hell's going on? So I'll send a report to him. Well, when I made it back over there, they were trying to find out what was going on. So they did an internal investigation. They sent people to Raymondville, Texas, to my hometown, to investigate. They never said the individual's name, but there was one individual, one policeman, that told them about the whole situation, what happened with my mother and with this fraudulent insurance thing that was happening, scam that was happening. So that's how I found out. Is I got called into my company commander's office. They told me to sit down. They said they wanted to ask me a couple of questions about what happened to commander's leave. They said my mother's name, my father's name. But then they told me, did you know, this is what they told me. Did you know that you have a hit out for you? Not just you, but your family. It's like, what are you talking about? And that's when they told me about the insurance claim, how all our names were on that list. And that's why the hits were set up that way, because if we were taken out, these people was going to be able to collect from those insurance claims. That's the intel that was given to me from a company commander. That's why I speak about it. So I got a message to those people that did buy that insurance claim. And I know the person that was selling it too. A lot of these people, they're not alive no more. The only thing I could say to them is money is the root of all evil. When you do acts like that, it's not good. So most likely, these individuals that were trying to do that, they've crossed over. They for sure is not in heaven. For that act, I know where they're at. And I ain't even going to say where they're at. All I'm saying is you reap what you sow. You know, there's always a price to pay. All I know is that we made it. We survived. I was able to get all my brothers and sisters out of there. My NCOIC gave me 2 weeks. They told me I couldn't go back to the Rio Grande Valley because I was government property, because I was in the military. But he gave me 2 weeks of leave, extra leave, to try to get my brothers and sisters out of it, which I did. You know, I found a way to get them out of there because they had hits on them too. So it's kind of like, you know, when the odds are stacked against you and you're not supposed to come out of situations that are set up to take you down. Well, I'm here to tell you that through Jesus Christ, I'm still here. Because he's the one that maketh us and taketh us. And I have many other stories of that. Of how I overcome situations. Through people threatening my life. In Germany, I was coming out of a bar. I was walking back towards the billets. I was crossing an alley. Whoever's been in Germany, some of those alleys are real close and very dark. And I could hear somebody talking a different language. I looked. There's a man pointing a gun at me. And he's calling me, waving me with the other hand to walk into the darkness. So I stand where there's light and darkness right in front of me. I could see the man saying something. He's got the gun pointed at my head. There's a light pole behind me, and I seen a flicker of light hit his eyes. When I seen the flicker in his eyes, when you train in your first of nature, that's what happened. The first of nature takes over. When you train daily, the first of nature takes over the situation. All I know is this guy, when that happened, when I came to, because it became first of nature, when I came to, this guy is laid out, beat up real bad. And I'm walking away. He's telling me, he's talking to me in English then. He's not talking a foreign language. He's telling me to spare his life. Yeah, that's what he's telling me, you know. And I'm walking away. As I'm going to walk away, I'm walking away backwards. You never turn your back on your enemy, right? So as I'm going to walk back, then something crosses my mind. What if he tries to do this to my brother in arms, trying to lure one of the guys? So I did what I had to do, right? To, you could say, eliminate the threat. I reported the incident to my chain of command on what happened. When we got to the location when all this happened, there was traces of blood and all kinds of stuff, but there was no body. The police eye, that's what they're called in Germany, they were involved, and they looked at me and said, well, there's nothing here. We see all this other stuff that's here, blood and all this. I said, but there's no body. So if there's no body there, we can't do nothing. You're free to leave. That's what they told me. So I left. You know, I was there with my platoon sergeant, because I told my platoon sergeant what had happened. Where this guy pulled out a gun in my head, and I couldn't understand what he was saying to me because he was talking German. But it looked like he was going to use the gun on me. I was just able to get out of the situation by a little glare in his eyes from a flicker or a fault of the light pole behind me. When it flickered, it kind of blinded him a little bit, right? The flicker. And I reacted super fast to overcome the situation. This is just another story, but I know I don't want to stay too long. I want to keep my videos like within an hour. Let me see what time it is. So I'm going to share. Now we're going to stop it right there with what I'm saying. There's just some of the things that I've been through, just a little bit of my life. That has always been that way. But now that I've played Jesus Christ first, it makes me who I am, in which I don't dwell in those things. I remember the things that I've been through that makes me who I am as an individual right now. But all those times, basically what I'm saying, all those times that I've been targeted, spiritually attacked. People try to attack me physically. That Jesus Christ has always been there for me to be able to overcome the spiritual threats and the physical threats. He gives me the strength that I need. He gives me the speed that I need. He gives me the time that I need to overcome the obstacles. Jesus Christ. That's why I place Jesus Christ first daily. Amen to that. So I'm going to share the story that I said I was going to share last night before I stopped this video. We could call this the night demon. We'll say it like that. I was 5 years old, possibly 6, and we have the neighbor's light. It's nighttime. It's pretty dark, and the light from the neighbor is glaring to our front of our house. We had a white house, so I get called to go outside by my father, and I'm standing out there, and he's looking at me, and he says, "Look, I'm going to have a friend come over in a few. He's on his way right now, and I want you to meet my friend." That's what he said. He said, "When he gets here, promise me one thing. When he gets here, just promise me you're not going to get scared." And I told him, "What would I be afraid of your friend?" Right? He said, "Okay, well, just sit down right here, face the house." I said, so I sat down, and I'm sitting there looking at the light that's reflected from our neighbors across the street to the White House, and I'm looking at that. So next thing you know, I'm not seeing too much light reflecting there anymore. And he told me, "Look, he's here." So he's here. What I want you to do is turn around very slowly. Remember, if he's my friend, he's your friend too. Turn around real slowly, but don't be afraid. You promise you're not going to be afraid? That's what he told me. I said, "Sure." So I turned out real slow, thinking it's, a individual. A friend, right? That's what friends are, individuals. So as I turned around slowly, in front of our house, we had 3 trees. We had one white tree and 2 blackberry trees, where, one of them had blackberries. So as I turned out real slowly and look behind me, I'm going to go deep into this. When I seen what I witnessed, what I saw, my hairs automatically went straight up in the air. I'm talking about the hairs in my arms, the hairs on top of my head stood up, letting me know that the presence that's in front of me is not friendly, that the presence in front of me is evil. When I looked at this giant thing, it was as big as the blackberry tree. It was a big blackberry tree, was in front of our house. All I could see was a silhouette. It was like a giant, I'm not going to say bird, a giant dark being, demonic being. His red eyes were looking at me. When I hear stories about the Mothman, how his eyes were red. Well, that's what I witnessed, was some huge red eyes. So as my senses are telling me, run, get out of there, that's exactly what I did. I turned around and I ran inside the house. My dad is laughing. And he's telling me, "I thought you said you wasn't going to be afraid." And he was laughing. Why you? So then I tell him my mother, because my mother was inside the house, what was going on, you know? By the time I went outside, the thing that was on the tree was gone, and my dad was still laughing, you know? And I said, what? And she was like, what's going on? I said, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. So what I witnessed was huge. It had to be at least 13 foot tall. I believe, you know, when we talk about the disembodied demonic Nephilim, the Watchers, the red eyes was a dead giveaway to me that it was demonic. The way the reactions of my body where the hair stood up, had a weird feeling in my stomach. That by itself, you know, is telling me it was something evil. But I wanted to share that story last night, but you know, I said I would share it here today, so I'm sharing it here today. And I could see a dark figure. And the reason I could see it because I could still see the light from across the street shining. You know, so it was a big silhouette with red eyes, had wings of some sort of wings. But I believe it was demonic. That's why I cut negative ties from those before me. I cut those negative ties by forgiving those kind of situations, and by moving away, moving on forward by myself. I forgave those things that I witnessed, and I'm attending my love foundation, in which makes me who I am now. It was massive. I mean, coming from a kid that was only 6 years old, seeing something that huge, because the blackberry tree was pretty big, and whatever was there was as big as a maple tree. The blackberry tree, pretty big and tall. That's why I believe that there's generational curses also, that the people within the family get affected by it because something that somebody might have done or practiced or believed in. That's why I had to tie and bind and rebuke things that I've witnessed, and things now that I'm older that I see everything. I had to connect a tie with some of the family, right? If they were dabbling with something, or dabbled with something, or believed in something in that nature, I had to. The only one who will tell you not to be afraid will be somebody that practices witchcraft and necromancy and summons them, right? It's got to have some kind of jurisdiction there for it to be there, right? Why did he summon it? Was it there to take me? Whatever the case might be, I went inside. By the time I came outside, it was already gone. But I know how it looked. So when I hear about the Mothman thing, you know, the event that happened to me, I was 5 or 6, so I would have been. This happened like in 1975. The same time that all this big bird that was being spotted in the valley, you know, could it have been a lechuza with red eyes? All I know was huge. I believe it was even bigger than a lechuza. What I witnessed, it was pretty big, but I don't think it was. How should I say, a flesh being? It was a demonic being, you know, like I say they are demonic. I know there's a lot of people, like for example, I have a card here, you know, from a friend of mine from within the mist. You see that? It's got a picture of some kind of, I don't know if it's what do you call that? A demon or the cryptid that's like, looks like a horse or whatever. All I can tell you, brothers and sisters, is when you dabble with that kind of stuff, there's nothing good coming out of it. But I remember what I've seen, what I've experienced. And I just know how to overcome them when I run into a situation like that as I'm older. But I just want to say thank you for those that tune in and follow me. And if you got any questions of what I'm speaking of, like I said, it happened when it was dark, but I could see the light from across the street. Oh, it was a big figure, dark silhouette. Looked like he had some kind of wings, big old red eyes, looking right at me. I really didn't get to say, I didn't give it the time to, if it spoke in any kind of way, shape, or form, I didn't give it the time to say anything to me. I just ran inside the house, what I witnessed. The only thing I can say, brothers and sisters, is this. That I know that the spiritual aspect of the balance truly exists 100%. And if the balance exists, that means that Jesus Christ exists. That means that Lucifer is a fallen angel and he exists. I know of existence, and I know of the things that exist because I've seen it and witnessed it, but I do not give it power by the belief factor, because that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to give them some kind of power of what they can do. And that's the thing. If you give them the belief factor, you're opening the door for them to enter your love foundation. So I don't give them the belief factor, even though I know of their existence. What I do believe in Jesus Christ, and as we're children of God, and we place Jesus Christ first, just by that itself, and we have the opportunity to make it into the kingdom of heaven. Whatever has fallen doesn't have, because their fate is already sealed where they're going. But that's why I share the stories that I share with y'all. For whoever tunes in and has the time to listen. I know that there's people that have tried to prevent me from growing my group. I've been knowing this. I've been getting targeted already for a while. Where about the only people that get to view my videos is the people that are the members here in Spiritually Encrypted Encounters. They're about the only. You're welcome, Sister Renee Leos. This is true experiences that have happened in my life, and there's just some of them, And I know that everybody has their own story, their own experiences. I'm here just sharing it, how my life has been. So I've been fighting spiritually for a very long time. I can go into an area. I can go to an area where people say, I can go to an area, whether it's a place or a home, and I'll be able to tell you if there's something unclean there. I'm able to tell you there's some spirits there, because they'll show themselves to me. No, this is something that I do. If it's a spirit that needs help to cross over, I help them, because they're there. they need the spiritual help. So I pray for them to be able to cross over. This is spirits that are trapped, right? Because they don't know that they crossed over. So I help them by calling upon the heavenly light to help them cross over. As I'm doing this, there's territorial, what we call demons, that are in charge of areas, and they don't want to release that soul. So as I'm interfering of them having some kind of bondage over this lost soul, they come at me. You know, they warn me not to get involved and all this, but I still help out the individuals, and I don't give power to what has fallen. You know, I rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. And I'm able to help out some of these spirits. If it's something unclean, that somebody's having activity in the home, I can go cleanse the home. And I can just by walking through the home, I can tell where the activity is, where the entity or the unclean or demonic spirit is, because it'll show itself to me, and I track it down that way because I can sense it. Just like when I go to the woods and investigate, I'm using my senses and I'm tracking down. There's times when I go out there to the woods that spirits come to me, like I said, and they want me to help them. As I'm trying to help them spiritually and praying for them, other things come that are soul collectors. Demons, hellhounds, they all fall in the same category. They have red eyes, you know. Bigfoots, they're demonic. For people to know, talk to a native elderly, they'll tell you they're demonic. The dogmen, the Wendigo, all the shapeshifters, how are they demonic? They learn their witchcraft and necromancy from demons, from the Bigfoots, the dogmen. I'm more sure they manifested to them in beastly form. That's where they learn that. That's why they have those abilities now, because they sold their soul. Basically what I'm saying, when I'm out there trying to help up a spirit or something's guiding me, as a matter of fact, I have a video. This day, on this video, I'm walking with a piece of selenite, and as soon as I go into the path, it's like my video life gets cut off. And I'm feeling all this kind of heaviness, my hairs are standing up, and I have the piece of selenite stored. I'm doing an experiment of how I'm holding protection of the selenite, because I don't want my energy to get drained by the unseen forces. So the selenite has energy from the sun, right? So that happens right off the bat, and then something's telling me, don't go in there, Abe, it's hot and heavy. But I say, you know what? I'm a man in faith. I know Jesus Christ is with me. I'm going to still go in there. So I went there, and as soon as I walked into the path, I'm hearing all kinds of activity around me. I'm hearing snout sounds. I'm hearing pig sounds. I'm hearing somebody talking, disembodied voices talking different language, a different tongue. And I'm there, and I say, okay, I can go back. I say, you know what? I'm going to maintain my faith. I start praying within myself. I start tie-binding, rebuking some of those unseen forces that are there. So I'll keep on walking with my faith. Next thing you know, I believe cousin Jesus Carvajal was there. I'm walking, and what do I see? I see the back of a truck sticking out of the woods. And I'm doing a live for this group, Spiritual Encrypted Encounter. So I see the truck, and I'm recording it. I get to a truck. It's a green truck, and I'm recording around it. And cousin Jesse's like, "Hey, be careful, cousin." Or I don't know, it was cousin Jesus or brother Carlito that was there. So I'm recording it, and then inside the vehicle, the keys are still in the ignition. There's a wallet. There's a phone inside the vehicle. The windows are lowered down. So I'm not trying to search nothing. So I start yelling like, "Hey, is anybody here? Is there anybody out here?" You know. So I'm looking around to see if I can find anything. So I stay away from the vehicle, And all while I'm doing this, I could feel this energy is around me trying to come at me. It's like they're trying to keep me out of that area. Then I go walk another, I could say, like probably like another 100 feet. And I found an area out there where there's a camp where somebody was set up there with a mosquito net. I could see a bag and a patio umbrella. And on the ground, I could see a tarp. It looks like something was underneath the tarp. I didn't go touch anything. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm sensing all these things, and on that video that day, disembodied voices all throughout the video where they're cussing and they're pissed off because I'm there. So I'm like, does anybody need any help? And the reason I was out there also was like 2 weeks or about a month prior to that. I could hear on my video a disembodied voice saying of a man telling me to help him. So as I'm walking out of there, I'm still feeling all this activity and noises around me. You know, like the snout sounds are all around me. I'm hearing what sounds like pigs. When we talk about pigs, my hairs are standing up right now just talking about it. Look at that. We talk about pigs, we talk about the herd, legion, when they went into the swine, right? I believe that's what I was hearing. So I pray and I say for nothing to follow me out of that area like I always do. And I go to the parking lot and I'm there. And I said, well, what up? I said, I need to call the cops. So there's a vehicle out there. I need to call the cops because there's a vehicle out there with the keys and it has to belong to somebody. So I call them. I wait there for 2 hours and never show up. So I go home, 2 more hours pass by, then they contact me. And they ask me, can you give us the coordinates to where this truck is? I said, yes, I can tell you where to go. Now, if you want to pick me up, I'll show you where it's at. So just give us a direction to what do we have to do to get there. And I told them where to go through and stuff like that. The weekend passed. And on the news, they said that they found a truck, but they found a person that had been missing apparently for about 2 months or 3 months. They said they found a body out there. I believe the body was underneath the tarp. I just never raised it up because it looked like something was underneath it. You know, I have the video where you could tell there's something underneath it. Basically, what I'm saying to y'all, brothers and sisters, is spiritually, I was sent there into that area to help out that person. I don't know to this day how he passed away or what happened, but I was sent there for him to be found so his body could be placed in holy ground. That's why the unseen forces were pissed off at me because I went and interfered spiritually. But this is what I do. There's people that get pissed off with me making these videos because I'm talking spiritually to you. I'm speaking in truth. They get mad because they don't want to believe in Jesus Christ. They get mad because I take away from the scenarios they're trying to set up to, you could say, deceive people. They might not know they're not deceiving people because they're being controlled by something else, but I know. But that's okay. Nobody's perfect. All I can tell you is that I've been there, done that, and I continue to do this works daily. If, you know, people need my assistance, I'm there. I have it all, in spite of everything that I've gone through. You know, I could have gone a whole different route than who I am as an individual. But I'll tell you what, when you put it on the scale, I know how it feels to have a black heart with no love, with vengeance, hatred. I know how that feels because I was there at one point in time in my life when I was younger. Because of all the negative seeds that were planted, something was trying to get me to have, it's a form of bondage when you feel that way. But I got tired of feeling that way. And God showed me love. And ever since I was shown love, ever since I forgave, which made my love stronger, it's an awesome feeling, brothers and sisters. Especially you're having a relationship with Jesus Christ and you get blessed with spiritual gifts of discernment. The only way to obtain those gifts is to truly have faith and believe in Jesus Christ and have a relationship with Him. That's how you get blessed with spiritual gifts of discernment. Not everybody can obtain those gifts. There's some people that are being bonded. And that's why I make these videos. To set my brothers and sisters free from any form of bondage. That's why that I do this. So to all the people that view this, my friends, those that dislike me, those that are my enemy, I'm just doing God's work. And I'm just trying to awaken my brothers and sisters, trying to pull those people out of the net, trying to get people to awaken spiritually, ask for forgiveness, have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. That's why I do this works. Sharing is caring. That's why I share my stories in this nature. Because sometimes there's people that just worry about themselves. They don't worry about others. They just care about what's important to them. They don't care about how somebody is feeling. They don't care if somebody is struggling, right? Or they don't care if people need spiritual help. I care because I know what it's about. And what it's about is my Tender Love Foundation, loving one another as brothers and sisters, assisting one another as brothers and sisters in Christ. When it talks about love, there's infiltrators. I remember there was this, I'll share another story. There was a female I had met through the internet, and she said she wanted to come visit me. She came to visit me, and we were just talking outside. And as she was talking, she had two phones. I said, man, she must be an important person. In one phone, she was texting somebody. The other phone rang. She said she was going to take the call. She took the call, and she started talking in Spanish. And I could hear the guy telling her, hey, you're going to come visit me, and all this stuff. She was like, sí, papi, ahorita voy para allá, and all this stuff, telling them that she's going to go see him, So I'm there, and I'm listening, Then she looks at me, she hung up the phone. She looks at me, and she says, I love you. And I'm looking at her, what do you mean you love me? She's like, I love you, I love you. And I said, as brothers and sisters in Christ? And she said, no, I love you. And I start laughing. And she's like, what's so funny? I said, well, I'm just here to tell you that you better hurry up and make it to where your friend or boyfriend is at, because he's waiting for you. And she said, oh, you understand Spanish? I said, just make sure you make it there in time. I don't want you to get in trouble. And I got out of the vehicle, and that's the last time I seen her. Just sharing a story. You ever hear people say, well, there's all kinds of different kind of love. There's all kinds of different kind of love. Love of this, love of that, love of this. I say, yeah, but there's only one unconditional love. One everlasting love. And that's through Jesus Christ. That's the number one love that you can be blessed in many kinds of ways through Jesus Christ. Just remember this for whoever's viewing. You can share it with your friends if you like. Or, you know, sometimes this talk that I talk about is deep. It's not for those that are weak-minded or that, I mean, it's for everybody. Because I'm just trying to help out people spiritually. Like I said, I can go to locations and I'll let you know if there's something there. Doesn't matter where it's at. You know, if it's like this, I go to a location. If there is demonic activity there, they're going to surface up and come at me. Because they know who I am spiritually. So they'll come. Whether, it doesn't matter where it's at. You know, people talk about, was it some road where supposedly I can go there and I'll let you know. Like I said, they'll surface up. I could go to an area where something supposedly happened, and whatever's there spiritually, territorially, they'll show up. But this is the works that I do. You know, I've been doing it all my life. It's kind of like, I say what I say out of truth. Sometimes people don't want to hear truth, and some people get offended by truth, or maybe because it's not what they believe. Well, I'm just here doing the good works. Why would anybody get offended by good works? You know, this is what I do, and I've been doing it before being in any cryptid, paranormal, or supernatural groups. Before all this, I've already been doing this works. It just gave me a different platform to let you know who I am spiritually, and what I do. I'm doing, brother, cousin Domingo. You know, cousin Domingo is very spiritual also. He's seen a lot of things, I believe, also about the balance. You know, it's about sooner or later, everybody got to choose their path. You know, everybody got to choose their path, and it's where you want to be. What do you want to be aligned up with? It's simple. Do you want to be aligned with the balance where at the end of time, when Judgment Day comes, that you're going to be in the pit of fire? Or do you want to associate yourself on the side of the balance where you maintain a love foundation and you're going to make it into the kingdom of heaven through Jesus Christ? It's that simple. It's kind of harsh, but it's straight up. It's straight up. You know, it's by the acts and works that we do in this world that makes us who we are. As we maintain that foundation and continue to, this is what I do, the works that I do to help out people. You know, I do it for a reason, is to get, and when the Heavenly Father has helped me and blessed me to be here amongst the living, I know that I'm doing something right if I'm still here. But anyways, I'm going to finish this with a prayer. Heavenly Father, at this time I'd like to pray for those that are here in attendance viewing this video with me, for all my brothers and sisters that are here, cousins, family. I want to pray for everybody to maintain a love foundation daily. If anybody is going through anything spiritual, we place in heavenly crosses on their body from head to toe. We place in heavenly crosses in their homes, in their doorways, and the windows. If there's any unseen forces, any unclean spirits, we take authority over you in Jesus Christ's name. We tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. You're not welcome to be there. And for whoever is viewing this video, take authority right now and say, if there's something negative here, I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. Be gone. Leave my home. Take authority over it through Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Yes, brothers and sisters, we have to take authority if it's something negative whether it crosses your mind, shows you an image, or you feel a certain way, rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name automatically. Don't let it, how should I say, stay, or there's a word I wanted to use. Don't let it marinate. Do something right off the bat. You know, it's kind of like that example that I like to use. When you hear that tapping sound on the window, you're like, oh, there's a tapping sound on the window. You don't do nothing about it. Then it was from a tapping sound to a knocking sound. Tap, tap, tap. 3 knocks. And then you don't do nothing about it. Then it goes from a knocking sound to a banging sound 3 times. If you take care of it right off the bat when you hear the 3 tapping sounds and say, you're not welcome here, I take authority in Jesus Christ's name, I tie bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, leave, then you will have the other problems. And the other problem is when it marinates and because you start believing you're hearing all these things, so you're giving it power, and it's kind of like you're inviting it in your home without trying to invite it, because you're hearing it, so you're in a sense of way believing in it. That's why you take care of it right off the bat. But anyways, brothers and sisters, thank y'all for those that tuned in. Here on Spiritually Encrypted Encounters on Facebook, on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed on my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe if you like. And love, light, and blessings to you and all your family members. Just remember, no matter what the situation is, always maintain your love foundation. And if it need be, you're never alone spiritually. Call upon Jesus Christ, and He will assist you out of the situation you're in. Thank you, cousin Jesus Carvajal, sister Renee Leos. Thank you for being here tonight. God bless you and your families. Everybody have a beautiful, blessed evening. Peace, everybody.